All right, everyone, welcome back to the Business Blast podcast. This is your host, Tyler Wagner. Today I have a very special guest named Bill McCormick. He is a professional science fiction author. So welcome to the podcast, Bill.
Hey, thanks for having me, Tyler.
Of course. So we'll dive right in. The first question is what's the best story from your life that has an underlying valuable message?
Actually, when I read that question, it's like there were so many, but my answer would have to be when I was first learning how to write. I had a teacher in college, a guy named Arnie Wolf, who said, "You're not writing about yourself. Forget about gonzo journalism. Write about what this is you see, write about what it is you hear. And in other words, use your eyes and your ears and quit using your mouth." And boy, has that helped me no matter what I've written since then. You learn so much more by just shutting up and letting the world teach you.
And what's the most valuable piece of information we should know that's within your expertise or industry?
I think the most valuable piece of information you could get out of, especially being a science fiction writer, is learning how to do research. Everything I do, not everybody knows everything, but you can find people who do know it. And so I'm very into doing in-depth research. I don't like just making stuff up. And I see companies do that. They release stuff. It's like, you didn't look into that at all, did you? That's just wrong.
And what's your best piece of overall business advice?
Stay away from Bitcoin. No.
Wait, let's dive in a little deeper on that real quick. Are you for cryptocurrencies or against them?
I think cryptocurrency is probably going to be the next wave of money. The problem they have right now is that cryptocurrency is a finite amount of currency that they can use. So it's much like a hard gold standard.
Yeah.
And that's easily corruptible, as we found out with the Great Depression and other events in American history. It's easy to throw that completely to the wind. And I think cryptocurrency is going to have to go through a shakeup like that before it becomes a stable fiscal alternative to hard cash. But I think it has a future.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, yeah, I guess so. I'll still let you answer the question, like, besides stay away from Bitcoin.
I think the most useful piece of advice or the most meaningful thing you can learn or in anything you do is to make sure that everything you've got is in order. People do so much willy-nilly, seat-of-the-pants stuff, and that's fine, but you still need to know what it is you're doing and what it is you're working from before you can go running off and break all the rules.
And if you could give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that be?
Go ahead and join the Marines. Forget about touring Europe with a rock band. Although I don't know if I would trade that for the world. I had experiences other people can't pronounce.
And in your opinion, what's the key to happiness?
I read that question when you sent it, and I still don't really have a hard answer. Aristotle once said you can't find out if you've lived a happy life until you die. And I think that is my key. I just go face each day as best I can. I hope for the best, prepare for the worst, and have as much fun as I possibly can. And that seems to work for me.
And what's the best book you've read, and what was the number one thing you learned from it?
The best book I read was a thing called Heinlein's Expanded Universe. And it was the one thing I loved about it was that the multiplicity of points of view, everything from a military standpoint to a social standpoint. He covered a wide range of subjects, both in little short stories, but those parts that I liked were his narratives, just him talking, like he went to Russia and this is what he dealt with, and he went to Europe and he went to NASA and he went to testified in front of Congress. And it's just his thoughts and random stuff, and it's really wild and very inclusive. It was also my introduction to Paul Dirac, the inventor of antimatter, the founder of antimatter. So there you go.
And besides the Aristotle quote, unless it is, what's your favorite quote and why?
My favorite quote is, "It's not good to go through life fat, drunk, and stupid," from Animal House. Just think that should be tattooed on a lot of people.
I love that answer. Well, thanks for coming on, Bill. The last question that I have for you is, where's the best place for people to find you online?
That would be at my website, billmcsci-fi.com. It's got a ton of cool stuff up there, and you can even spend your money up there. So that's really gold. Spend a lot of money. Yeah, BillMcSci-Fi.com is where to find me.
Great. Thanks again for coming on, man. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, Tyler.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.